Oh, here we are. We're hiding from the rain. It's a filthy day. In the 1670s, a prisoner staggered out of Bedford prison with a manuscript in his hand, and that manuscript would be turned into a book, and the book would be translated into almost every language in the world, and it would be printed for over 300 years, and whether you know it or not, you're influenced by that book, with statements like a pilgrim and Doubting Castle and Vanity Fair. And he influenced the English language, but he influenced also many Christians and helped them to understand themselves and the world in which they lived. And he was called John Bunyan. He was a preacher. He was imprisoned because he wanted to tell people about Jesus wherever they were, and not just from his building, and that's what the government had demanded of him. And so he went to prison, and while he was there he wrote a book called Pilgrims Progress. You can get hold of it. It's free on the internet, and there are a number of copies available for you to download, or you can buy it from a bookshop. You can get it second hand. Over the years, even these last 30 or 40 years, many versions have been printed. It begins like this. As I walked through the wilderness of this world, I came upon a certain place with a den. And when I lay down to sleep, I fell asleep and dreamed. And in my dream I saw a man clothed with rags, standing in a certain place, with his face turned from his own house, and in his hand he held a book, and he bore a great burden upon his back. He opened the book, and he read, and he wept and trembled. Unable to contain his emotions any longer, he broke out with a mournful cry, "What shall I do?" He uses Bible ideas and Bible thoughts. And he starts with a man in rags holding a book with a burden on his back. And the allegory begins from the very beginning. There is a time in our lives when we all recognize that the things that we have are just rags. We realize it when we read a book, and that book is the Bible. And that Bible tells us that we're in a world which is passing, and the things of this world are in many ways of very little value at all. But the burden on his back is there because he realizes he's going to face God. And when challenged about why it causes him such a burden, he says, "I'm unwilling to die, and I am unfit to face the judge." And so that was his issue, and that was the cause of his journey, to find a way to be fit to meet God and able to die in peace. It's a very earthy subject, isn't it? And he gets right to the heart of the human condition. And over the next few months, that's what I want to look at. And I'd love you to join me, and I'd love you to get hold of the book and read it along with me. Maybe even read it ahead of me, and learn from what John Bunyan could tell us by his words. Well, may God bless you today. We're off back home again, aren't we, dog? It's pouring. Have a good day.